World of YouTube, out you here with another video. I've actually got some extra time to do some video today. But today we are in an Ayer, Massachusetts trailer park. And I'm covering the story of Kenny Waters. A man that, I gotta drive through this and get out of here, but due to the people living here. But Kenny Waters used to live in one of these, trailer homes, and a woman lived next door to him, and I don't know which it was. I know in 2012 or 13 I was supposed to come in here and get myself a trailer to tear down, and whether or not it was that one or not, I didn't get it. But the story is that this guy Kenny lived in this trailer park and got accused for a murder that was not done by him. He spent 18 years in a jail for a murder he didn't do. So I do not know which trailer it was, but yeah, he got arrested and sent to prison on lack of evidence. I mean, supposedly they'd had some evidence, but when they, got a hold of him and everything, and there was no blood on his clothes, but I think it was that he had scratches on his neck from something, and supposedly, what was the bad investigation about? Poorly investigated evidence. And just because I think, a guy that went with Kenny Waters' ex-girlfriend, they plotted this scheme to set him up and told the officers that he did it, and why he took the charge and the rap is beyond me. I mean, you can look up the, Kenny Waters murder trial, log in and look it up. But his sister literally stopped working and took her time and learned how to learned law school for lawyering, and took his case and ended up winning it due to lack of evidence. I think it was just due to a witness that lied and made up a story. And the ex-girlfriend that Kenny went out with, they plotted this thing probably due to a sour relationship they had. But I would love to get in here and know which trailer. I gotta look into this and do some investigating of my own to see if I can find the actual trailer or spot where it stood. And if I can, I would like to get in there at the time of the murder, which it's all listed and labeled. I think it was like March something in 1979. And the weird thing about it too is it was not too far off from the murder of Tyree Jr. I have a video up of that murder at Fort Devens. You can check that video also. But these two murders happened around the same time. Now, it came to my attention, which, as much as I looked up, like I say, on the internet, and I'm always looking and trying to find something, but the Tyree murder case, and if you want to check that out, it's Commonwealth versus Tyree Jr., came to my attention by a now dear friend, close acquaintance, that they looked up this Tyree Jr. case, and supposedly the Army covered up a murder due to the fact that Tyree's wife was on the verge of cracking a drug case throughout Fort Devens, and led to her death in Ayer, Massachusetts, not too far from this dwelling here. Now, just comes to my attention, and like I said, I've been looking up both these stories, and what brings me to thinking in my thoughts and theories, I better wonder if this murder here of Kenny Waters happened due to the fact that a cover-up for the Tyree Jr. case. I mean, they did supposedly, labeled him as the killer. And I mean, that story, goes on. You want to look it up and stuff. It's a long, long article on that. And I mean, they made him look like a crazy, insane lunatic that I could see, a drunken fool at that. But it just comes to my attention and makes me think, things like, what if they did that and then do this murder to, get it away from the attention of the Tyree case so no one would look further into it, and just make it look like, oh, there's another murder happening here. And it's just these things I think of, and I love a good mystery, and I love a good, trying to figure stuff out like this. But due to the fact that these two cases were not too far off, it's just nuts and crazy what to think. What was really going on in this town throughout the years of 1979 and 1980. So, it's just something to think about, something to kick around in the dirt. But I'm also going to show you. So, anyways, to get back on track of this one, they claim that Kenny Waters got up in the morning and got dressed, and he went to work, and he had to go to court that day. So he got up and drove down here. We're going to take a ride. And he was on his way to the Park Street Diner, where he used to work. And as a kid, believe it or not, like I say in all my videos, but hey, I know my life and I know my story, and I know what I used to do as a child. Back in my day, it was normal for kids at 5, 4, 6 years old to wander the streets. It was normal. There was nothing wrong with it. Independence is what they thought of back in the day. In 79, I was wandering these streets, and the Park Street Diner was one of my stomping grounds due to the fact that I used to love the stainless steel inside of it. From the 1950s, it had to have been built, because back then that's what diners used to look like, all stainless steel walls. And even the phone booths in this place, the doors were stainless steel. So it was just looked like a huge spaceship to me. And due to my obsession, well, not obsession, but due to my liking the TV show Doctor Who, I used to go down here and play in the phone booths, and Get Smart, the TV show where the guy goes in the phone booth. He's one of them private investigator spies, and he drops in the phone booth to the bottom floor. And I used to come here. This is the remodeled Park Street Diner made into a bank. And this is where I used to come as a child. And this is where Kenny Waters used to work. And I used to always take my time on the weekend or when I didn't have school in the summer and come down here and just mess around and, have fun. But I think I got yelled at by him one day because people were trying to use the phone, and I'm in there making fake phone calls. And I'm in there doing my Doctor Who thing. So I was like, geez. But going down here, and Kenny Waters had to go there to work. He had to come down this way, and this was all in the time of the murder. He also had to go home, I guess, to change for work, and and did make it there. But he had to come here to the Ayer courthouse. As you can see up here, this big red building, brick building. This is the Ayer courthouse. He had court. I mean, the guy wasn't. He had his little, mishaps with the law. Back in the day, whoop-de-friggin-do. He smoked some weed, I think. Guy drank beer. He got a little rowdy. I mean, he was not a killer. But he ended up coming here, and throughout the timeline of this case, it's like, where did he have time to kill this woman? The woman was stabbed to death in her apartment, and it was just a crazy case. And he had to spend 18 years of his life behind bars for this murder. And his sister, a beautiful soul she was, took her time, her life, and away from her children and her husband at that, and took the time to do this case, go to lawyer school, and had him released from jail, because she knew that he was not a bloodthirsty killer like they claimed he was. So it's like, wow, what was really going on throughout the years of 1979 and 1980? Because it kind of, like I said, makes me think, was this like a cover-up murder to get rid of the thoughts from the murder at Fort Devens? So it's like, what was really going on? Just to sidetrack everybody, and that guy's a killer, and no one wants to hear no more of him. He's in jail now. He killed his wife, so now there's another murder. I mean, it's just crazy. You hear people on the news all the time, that can't happen in my town. This is a small town. People know each other here. Well, guess what? Dark hidden secrets form anywhere in this world. And just because they come out of the closet, and it gets worse, and it's been getting worse, and it ain't getting better anytime soon either. Kids are still being killed. People still die, mysterious murders. It's just insane. And people get away with it. O.J. Simpson, Casey Anthony. And this poor bastard sits his ass in jail for 18 years, and he didn't even, they just poorly did the investigation, all due to because of a witness. Sick. Just sick. But this video is in respects Kenny Waters, his sister's family, and I wanted it to be known and made known. They did make a movie of this too. I forget the name of it, but you look up Kenny Waters murder trial, I'm sure the movie will come up, everything will come up. And I just like to bring back history that is deserved to be come back. And this guy deserves it all the way. And what happened to poor Kenny Waters is that he got out of jail, and I think it was 6 months later, he died in a car accident. Wasted 18 years, got out and dies in a car accident. Just sucks. What kind of life was spent? Really. YouTube, I had to share that video. It's something I've been meaning to get to. And, like I said, I'm going to see what I can do to try and get back at that point and get in there. Maybe, if I can, I want to see if I can talk to that ghost like I've been doing, and see, maybe, just maybe, if this person, this woman, can give an identity or a name. And I think the person knew the killer, and that's why it made it look like Kenny Waters did it, because I think it was someone this person knew. And the lady had, I think, $20,000 in cash. So this woman must have been yapping around, and I think that's another thing. Kenny Waters said something about the money, and just because he knew of it, this woman got robbed. I mean, you could have got set up and everything for this, too. Someone knew it. I think it was an inside job, but it was a poor investigation. Just like the Tyree Jr. case. If there's something out there that needed to be more investigated, it was poorly investigated. But, Fort Devens over here. But anyways, it's another YouTube moment. Murder in a small town of Ayer, Massachusetts. Second murder within months. And it's just insane what I keep coming up with and finding. And just to think, just like the murder at Fort Devens video I did, I lived in this town and I used to walk the streets at the time of these murders. And it's just insane that it all comes up. And when I see this stuff come up, and I knew I lived here, it's like, wow, what really was going on? I'm surprised I did not get killed myself. I mean, shit. Oh, boy dies. For what reason? Roaming the streets with no parents. Another story to whack off everybody from listening to the other stories, But these are my thoughts and theories. Until the next video, like I say, many more to come. YouTube Nation out.